Yeah, I'm literally coming back from East Surrey Hospital right now. I got admitted last night. The ear thing, I've still got a concussion. I still feel really dizzy and walking right next to the main road, look. Fucking nettles and shit right there beside me. I fucking practically almost fell into the road earlier. A bunch of cars beeping at me, stopped. It's caused a fucking car crash. I literally got this really severe ear infection. It started off well, but like I said, the NHS will not treat this. I really need donations, guys. I need to raise money privately. Please help, because I told you, this is like the 11th time I've been admitted. At the 11th hospital. The doctor confirmed the fluid, the infection, whatever. Then I saw the ENT, they admitted me, IV antibiotics, confirmed the infection, saw the fluid both sides, confirmed the infection, all going well. So they make the decision on grommets tomorrow. To be honest, they should have just done it the same night. This woman sees me the next day, today. I had 24 hours no sleep. So they put me next to a guy that was really aggressive, banging, shouting, like he had some sort of mental illness or something. I have no idea what was wrong with him, or possibly they'd given him too many drugs and he was going mad off it. Either way, he was either on something or had some sort of mental illness, because he kept shouting and banging, shouting stuff. I don't even know if any of it was aimed at me. All I know is that it kept me up all night. But anyway, so 24 hours no sleep. So when they came in, all 5 of them just stood round my bed. Like, I could have just come to 1 or 2 of them, considering they know I've been assaulted 10 days ago. They could have been had a tiny bit of empathy and thought, let's see this guy, maybe just 2 of us. Maybe let's not go all 5 of him round the bed, knowing I've gone for a concussion 10 days ago and been severely beaten up. Maybe it's not a good idea to all 5 of us stand around his bed and intimidate him. But whatever. They did not do that to the guy next to me, because I saw it. I talked to him really nicely. They didn't all stand around his bed, standing over him. They stepped back, gave him space, really nice and comforting. And then with me, because they see I'm younger, I've got no one with me. This is what the NHS do, they're a gang. And they see you've got no family or friends with you, they just abuse you. They stood around me, intimidating me. I've had this kind of behaviour before. The senior one, the woman, I'm not afraid to call her out. Short hair, blonde, glasses. Nasty attitude. She's abusive as all hell. She was the devil. She literally stood there. The smell out is making me feel sick. I shouldn't even be walking next to the main road. They shouldn't have even discharged me. Literally hustled me out the door. Couldn't get me out the door quick enough. Do you know why? Because when they see you young and vulnerable and on your own with no one backing you up, they'll think another person we don't have to treat. But let's not just not treat him, let's abuse him as well. They get off on it. They'll say it's to get the waiting list down, but really it's because they like the power. They like the power they have to neglect someone who's sick and who needs help. Because it makes them feel like they have control over a portion of the population. It's all about control with a lot of these types that go into these positions. Maybe it didn't used to be, but it certainly is like that now. I can tell you that for a fact. Absolute fact. So painful right now. She only put the otoscope halfway up my left ear. Didn't even go up to it. How do I know that? Because I've had over 40, 50 doctors in the past year look inside my ears. And all the ones that have diagnosed it have gone right up to the eardrum. I could feel it. She only went halfway up my ear canal. On the other side, she only went, I'd say, about 2/3 up, because I was feeling to check, because I didn't trust her from the way she was talking to me like I was a liar. Classic abusive behaviour. Like, I got the impression she did believe me, but she wanted to treat me like I was a liar. They know, to be honest, they abuse you. I've noticed the ones who are faking it, they treat them better. The ones who are actually really suffering, they treat them worse, because they love it. And they do it right next to each other as well. They treat someone they know is faking it right next to you when you've got real illness. Because it's called triangulation. It's what narcissists do. They treat someone like gold dust next to you and treat you like crap. That's what she was doing to this man next to me. She was doing it in my face as well, knowing I needed treatment. All it is a 15-minute surgery. And then she said to me, grommets isn't a cosmetic surgery. I was like, do you not think I know that? I'm a 26-year-old adult. I do realise that putting tubes inside an eardrum that no one can actually see from the outside, I do realise that that's not a cosmetic surgery, because who's going to see it? And that's, even if you were making that argument, who would get cosmetic surgery in the eardrum first of all? It doesn't even exist. It's mocking me. I never said that. And what would be the point of getting cosmetic surgery on something so deep inside your body you can't even see it unless it has an otoscope? Like, saying something like that, I'll tell you why she said it, if it's not making sense to you. It didn't make sense to me at first, and I thought about it. It's hard to think about it because of my infection, but I worked it out. My brain slowed down because of the concussion infection. The reason she said it, I knew it was wrong when she said it, but the reason she said that, she was trying to say, oh, it's not as simple as a cosmetic surgery. Well, actually, I'm going to make the opposite argument. Say, she clearly doesn't know much about surgery, because a lot of cosmetic surgeries are quite complicated, actually, a lot more complicated than normal bad health procedure surgeries. They're actually a lot more complicated and hard to get right, and a lot more can go wrong with cosmetic surgeries. So saying, oh, it's not cosmetic surgery, as if cosmetic surgery is easy, it's actually really complicated. That's why there's entire shows and TV shows dedicated to what goes wrong with cosmetic surgery. It's so hard to get right. That's why they get paid so much. So saying something like that, she doesn't even know what she's talking about. She can't even use her analogies to abuse me right. She can't even do that right. She doesn't even know how to abuse me properly. So yeah, that was a stupid comment. And like, in the context she was saying it, saying, oh, well, it's too hard, so that's a reason not to do it now. Well, imagine if every surgeon had that attitude. You get appendicitis, she comes along, she's treating you, she's like, oh, it's too difficult to do now, so we'll just wait 4 weeks till you die of appendicitis, because we can't do anything in 24 hours, because no surgery is an emergency, because it's too hard. I was like, it's not a homework assignment, it's someone's life. I was like, it's not difficult to do a 15-minute grommet surgery. It's just you being abusive, guilt-tripping me for asking for what I need. And then they do the hearing test. They already told the woman to mistreat me. I go down there, and she does the pressure test first and says, where do you think the fluid is? I think the fluid is. It's on my records. It's like 20 consultations confirming otitis media, middle ear infection from over 20 GPs in the past year. I was like, that's not me thinking it, that's me knowing it and other people seeing it and knowing it too. And then it's just classic gaslighting. That woman definitely told her to mistreat me. They have a system, you see, when they target someone who they think is vulnerable and they hasn't got anyone backing them up, no friends or family, they go, yeah, him. Exactly like you might see in those London gang documentaries where they'll signal to each other if they want to rob someone or they want to stab someone or whatever. NHS will do that to you if they think you're vulnerable. The abusive staff will. They've got a system. They're like, yeah, him. And then all their friends will then abuse and mistreat you as well. They work exactly like a gang. The corrupt ones. There's barely any good ones. Probably like 1% of the NHS staff will actually treat you, I'd say. And I'd say I'm right. Look at the waiting list. And with me especially. Because they can tell. They can tell when you haven't got anyone backing you up. They can see it. Because you hold yourself differently. So it's just water, by the way. But 24 hours no sleep again, mistreated again. I did get one thing out of it though. I'll tell you what, this was gonna say I got off track. We're doing a pressure test, right? It's a test for middle ear pressure. Mine was way above average in my right ear, and it was above average on my left. Exactly what everyone's noticed. That is worse on my right, the infection, than the left, but it's still in both. And the tympanograms, what it's called, that showed exactly that. Abnormal middle ear pressure, very much so on the right, and still significantly above average on the left, but much more so on the right. And it's like, I took a picture of it. She didn't want me to take a picture of it because she knew as soon as she saw it on the screen before it printed out. That's why she said nothing. I noticed she didn't say, yeah, it's normal, because it wasn't normal. She tried to stop me taking a picture, like literally tried to grab for my phone. I said, what are you doing? Don't grab my phone. I'm allowed to take a picture of my own results on my own body. And she was like, no, you're not. And I was like, okay, stop me, because I'm sick of this treatment. I took a picture anyway. Now I've got that on my phone. I'm going to save it for if I take them to court in the future, which I probably will. I'm going to save it for court. Save that picture for court, showing my abnormal ear pressure. Keep that picture on my phone ready and waiting. And they didn't even do the conductive hearing loss test. They did one half of the hearing test for the sensorial. They didn't do the conductive part. They said they're going to do the conductive part, which is the part I needed to detect the middle ear fluid hearing loss. They didn't even do it. They just said, no, we've done it now. And I said, you haven't done the other half, because I've done hearing tests before. He said, yeah, we have. Just straight up gaslighted me and hustled me out of the building. And he took the cannula out so fast, started bleeding everywhere. And the woman, the nasty bully one, would not leave me alone. She kept standing over me, gaslighting me. Didn't want me to leave because she didn't want me to go report her. So then she got cocky and like, please report me. I recorded it. I'd been recording the whole conversation, a voice recording in my pocket. And I showed her, and then she's like, you can't do that, it's illegal. And I was like, no, it's not. Look it up, because you can record any consultation with any medical or healthcare professional without their consent for your own notes. And I did, and I'm definitely going to use that to report her. Like she said, please report me, and since she asked so nicely, I will report her. But do you know what? At the same time, that's not going to do anything. I'm going to do it just to feel better that I've stood up for myself. But to be honest, the only way I'm going to get treated is through private surgery. And I know this is a long video, it's clocking at 12 minutes 41 now. But I had to make it for you to know that way worse than this has happened to me. I'll be talking about it all on my YouTube channel, Oscarowensstories. Way worse than this. At the same hospital I've just gone to, she tried to murder me more than once last year. I had to literally get the police on speakerphone on 999 to get them to not kill me. Like, the NHS are animals. Like, yeah, so you can donate to Gofundme, link in description and stuff, but you know what's going on now. Like, share, subscribe. And I hope this inspires other people to speak out who have been mistreated, because it shouldn't be this thing where we're scared to speak out and the NHS mistreating us. We're not afraid to speak out and the police mistreat us. Why the NHS? Because I'm telling you, once the NHS corruption gets blown wide open, it's going to be way worse than the police. I'll tell you that, way worse. And it's happening. It's already started to happen. That whole baby killer, that's just the tip of the iceberg, I'm telling you. There's many more like her in the NHS. Many more. And as I was walking out the hospital, actually, a woman was arguing with one of the staff about them mistreating her grandfather or something. I overheard the conversation. And do you know what? I believed every word she was saying, because I've talked like that before, and I could hear the emotion in her voice and the pain. And it broke my heart to hear that, because I know there's so many of you that have been mistreated by the NHS. And, you know, we should all form a group, like a union, like a patients union, to stop this happening. But you know what? By the time that union gets formed, they'll probably just go fully private anyway, won't they? Because they can't carry on the NHS the way it is now. People are just going to die. By the time the union will get formed, the NHS will be over anyway. But no, anything's worth a shot, I suppose. I don't even know. But I guess please just like, subscribe, because I've need 9 operations. I'm going to die of them, and I need these private operations because I can't even pee properly. I've got a urinary tract infection they didn't treat while I was admitted. Ear infection. They didn't even give me any antibiotics to go home with. Absolutely appalling. I've got 2 ongoing infections right now, and they just don't care. And a stomach infection from my infected stomach ulcer. And I need spine surgery and eye surgery and another eye surgery. So yeah, that's what I deal with every day, plus more. If you want to comment something hateful, you know, I can't stop you. But I'm only posting this for the people that can help me and do want to help me. I'll be forever grateful for every donation I get. Hopefully this reaches and connects with people. Realise it's the longest video I've made so far, but I don't care because I need to speak about what's happened. And every time I get mistreated, I'll speak in it. I'm telling you right now, this is actually, if you can believe it, one of the least serious neglects I've had. Had way more serious neglects than this. And do you know what? The only reason they didn't get their attack dogs, their security on me for wanting to get treated is because they know that I got assaulted 10 days ago, and that the police are on my side currently. So they're not going to be able to try any of their old scare tactics with security like they have in the past to stop me getting treated. And they've done that in the past, but they didn't do it today because they know I'm in heavy contact with the police at the moment about the assault. So they're being wary of me, but maybe it's a sign that things are going to start to go positive for me. Maybe they'll stop. You know, they're not going to stop neglecting me, but at least they didn't get security on me. But like I said, they're not going to treat me. It's been 3 years this got to get to this critical point. All the health issues are in now. And one of them even laughed when I said I got stomach ulcers. They were like, yeah, I know, I looked. And I was like, okay, I don't see what's funny about that. And she was like, get a sense of humour. And I was like, what's funny about having stomach ulcers? Literally psychos, sadistic. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe, share. I'm going to try and get home now. Crashed and passed out for ages. 24 hours no sleep. Maybe loads of you see this and donate. Maybe Gofundme will get donated by next week, get my operations back, my life back, and repay the world for your kindness, but you never know. Anyway, see you later.